4th of July. Or whatever you celebrate. I'm just celebrating a day off, okay? I'm literally out here in Asia. I haven't seen a firework pop yet. I haven't seen y'all post any fireworks. Is it getting crazy in the Americas or what? Listen, so much has come out. I'm going live now because Tasha K is set to go live with the Cassie accuser and the man who's suing Cassie, actively suing Cassie and Diddy. But I asked before, do y'all think this will segue into a lot of the male workers, you know, the men of the nights, to sue Cassie? Do you think there'll be something in place? And a lot of y'all were like, why would they sue her? And I'm just like, why would they not? They're not getting any justice. But as y'all are coming in, can y'all thumbs up this video, please, and thank you. I want us to get to a point where we, you know, to our house manners, we just come in liking the video, sharing the video out amongst the girls, you know? Let's start doing that, Babe Squad. It helps me out, it helps y'all out, it keeps us actively engaged, and it helps out the mods, okay? I have my hair out, get my hair braided in the morning, so yeah. We have to talk. Yes, we got some house rules. We gotta put the house rules out, honey. You know, ever since, this is the second high profile case that has been covered in the space with new media, meaning content creators who were on YouTube, who have a presence. They went and got, you know, their clout and whatnot. I feel like this case has that same type of element, but this case is going to transcend future cases because there's a lot going on. And one of the future cases that are coming up is the Meg Thee Stallion versus Milagro. I feel like a lot of judges are looking at the antics. They're looking at what's going on. So I feel like there's gonna be some transitioning. But that being said, hey Couture Bays, it's your girl Britt Brett going live with the Breed Talk and Bae Squad. We gotta talk about the #1 prosecutor of the Southern District of New York, and that's Maureen Comey. We're also gonna be talking about Diddy's sharecropper bloggers. Okay, I got sharecropper blogger from The Wiley Show, and shout out to him because it's so befitting. A lot of people feel some type of way, but not me. Everything we say here is allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. So sit back, relax, sip you some apple juice or my favorite, the vegan water. And let's get into the mess, shall we? Thumbs up this video by thumbsing it up or double tapping your screen or hitting those 3 dots right there. You see them? Hit those 3 dots. How you can engage with this video is by hitting those 3 dots right there. Thumbsing, you know, getting interactive with the live, you know, supporting the channel by sending a Cash App donation, super chat, sharing, subscribing if you like the vibe and all these. But hey, Be Real, how are you doing? Hey, Sherry. Hey. Yes, hit the like button. Yes. Hey, T. Thank y'all. I'm glad y'all love the hair. We're going to be getting into a little bit of the Cassie stuff, but I want to tell you, Maureen Comey was the lead prosecutor for the Southern District of New York, and honestly, she had to take an L. If you go look at her message and her statement, she thanked everybody. She did not talk about how they lost the RICO. Okay, those are big charges. I don't think anybody is celebrating. Granted, I did see Armand Wiggins out there. That's why I did not put him on this thumbnail. Armand Wiggins literally segued the whole bloggers being out there, and they stole his thunder because he was the pinnacle of the news. He was interesting, he was bringing it, he was riveting. People enjoyed him until he did that baby oil stitch thing. I think that was stupid. I think that was a little bit of self-sabotage because he just was not ready for the big leagues. He was not ready for the big leagues. That's just what it looks like to me. So because of that, I'm just sitting here like, No, I did not get a super chat. So let me make sure my monetization is on. Y'all know I forget sometimes. Hold on, let me see. But that is one of the reasons why we did not um, put him on here, because I feel like he kept it very unbiased. Very unbiased. He kept it very professional until the end. Y'all saw the end. To me, he looked a hot mess. I wouldn't have done that. And then you see how CNN spent it. They made it seem like he had no decorum, no couth. They said he was out there celebrating Diddy's major victory, which is a victory. Let's be very clear. You know, a lot of people felt like if you even said anything remotely positive about Diddy, you were male identified, or you just want to be no, no. People were talking about it because we could read. Maureen Comey's issue was, and still is, she decided to use Cassie's lawsuit as a way to fight the case. If you go and read Pacer, you see I didn't say go watch a YouTuber, a content creator, the news, read an article. If you go read Pacer, where it gives you the questions from the prosecution, the questions from the defense, and the answers from the alleged victims, you will see why a lot of people said this case was weak. You will see it. Literally, the indictment spelled out like her lawsuit. To me, that told me they did not have a strong case. I went on AT2's platform. A lot of people were in their feelings about it because a lot of people experienced some type of DV in their life. They've experienced not being believed. But I have a lot of clips that will show you why people were thinking the way that they were thinking. And this was beyond reasonable doubt. This wasn't just because we saw a video of her getting knocked between the washer and dryer in the hallway. This was beyond reasonable doubt. I told y'all, if they kept it on the sexual acts, the lewd acts, it's not going to work. They have to focus on the business as well. And they glossed over the business. I feel like they would have had a stronger case if they would have kept it on the contracts. They were trying to hide the fact that she dated Ryan Leslie, because they made it seem like Diddy was her only older man she had ever been with. Lies. She dated several men who were older than her. Several. They outlined that. Do I care? No, her poom poom is not on trial. But they showed that not only was she able to leave, she left and was dating very high affluent men. She did not want them because they were not on the status of Diddy. Hence why they made her read out loud, "Where else am I supposed to go? Jay-Z is taken." She could not say Clive Davis because Clive Davis likes men. She could not say what's his name? What's his name from the West Coast, who's married to America, because he was already engaged and dating his now current wife, who's also in some serious allegations. She could not date these other powerful men because they seen her in a deplorable light. They seen her in a deplorable light, and plus they had respect for Diddy. So I'm gonna just put that out there. So when people are upset and they're talking about it, not everybody is a fan of Diddy. I just told y'all, I said I think he's an amazing producer. I do think that. I can't feel more upset for the people who refuse to read. You know, if they put themselves in these horrible contracts in this day and age and whatnot, that's not my problem. So let's get into some of the people who are accusing her this of saying they just felt like she was not a victim. Again, these are their words, and so that y'all can understand why a lot of people felt like, you know, she's not as innocent. I never said that. I just said when y'all find out the truth about Cassie, it's going to hurt a lot of y'all feelings. Not mine. Not mine. Because I kept up. So let's get into this first one.
Anybody who wants to claim that she was purely a victim is in denial. It's, Loon, there's no way. I don't care how much grooming. You're not a child. You're a grown woman, and you mixed race on top of that. So you got a white parent. You feel? There's no way you're doing all of this if you don't want to.
Do you think that?
No way.
From a psychologist standpoint,
Not for a woman with a white parent.
what about the Stockholm syndrome thing that people are trying to
Oh, that's very
parade
real.
around?
I believe that all of that bears some truth in this case, but cannot be completely explained by it. Here's the problem I had with the Cassie, the supporters, right? And I empathize with the sister as well because
Right.
Puffy did take advantage of her.
Yeah.
The problem I'm having, Loon, is I'm seeing people go out of their way and make excuses for her because she's not an all-black woman. If Cassie wasn't light-skinned and mixed race, do you really think she would be getting this type of sympathy from the black community?
Right.
Or the America at all? No.
Right.
It's because she was mixed race that people are coming to her aid. If this was Lizzo in this case, you feel me? She wouldn't get half the sympathy. She would be called a gold digger, and if you didn't want to be there, you could have left. You feel me? Yes.
I didn't think about
Black
that.
women don't give black women that type of support. This is only happening because Cassie is mixed race. Yes.
But there's a lot of people who are, so from a psychologist standpoint, can you explain even what Stockholm syndrome means to people?
Stockholm syndrome is when someone grooms you, dominates, destroys you to the point where they eliminate any imagination or memory of you being independent or wanting independence. You start to depend on them. You start to rely on them. They become your world, and you start to believe that you cannot exist without them, despite the fact that they are punishing you, manipulating you, and putting your life in danger.
So a lot of people did agree with that. Y'all can go and watch that full pod. Then you have, where's it at? You have one of the jurors speaking out.
We're looking at it from like one side, and it was definitely riveting and eye-opening.
What did you see on the videos? You know, the press wasn't able to see it in real time.
Yeah. Look, I mean, they were showing some of there was both the freak-offs and hotel nights, as they were called, from both of them. But it was...
What did they show in those videos?
They showed, well, again, you know, the defense and the prosecution showed different clips, so they were very selective. Like the prosecution was showing more, you know, just Cassie just sitting around.
The defense showed that.
Defense showed that, yeah.
Just her sitting around not engaging in sexual activity.
Yes.
For the prosecution, when you had to have your headphones on and otherwise,
Yeah.
what were you seeing then?
There was sexual activity, but I mean, it wasn't really.
Was it force?
It didn't seem forced. It was actually like pretty tame.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she?
It was just a lot of rubbing oil and stuff on there. It wasn't anything too you know, graphic. It was,
And this is why when I get into these sharecropper bloggers, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna really wake it up. And I told you, if you don't like to hear the opinions of others, you know, move on. That was one of the jurors who saw the tapes, the freak off. You know, the freak offs that were supposed to have all these celebrities. Isn't that what some of these top-notch content creators said? They were getting the inside scoop of these celebrities who were involved in all this, and he was cooperating with the feds. You know, just lying, and y'all were eating it up, and y'all are out here crying because the girls got exposed. Murad Morali, a liar. Sloan, a liar. Nancy Grace, a liar. Tisa Tells, a liar. You know, I could go on and on. It was several people lying on Diddy's name for a click and a view, and that's why they said you were lying. And for Tisa to come to the internet and make it seem like men approached her about lying, when I seen Queen Amadabi out there chin checking you because she said not only are you a liar, you spun the narrative and you got first-hand knowledge from the prosecution. Baby, please don't let me wake it up for real. Y'all hate when we talk about your faves. They're liars. Everybody that's on the picture is a liar. Maureen Comey is a liar too because they were spinning the narrative and it backfired. It backfired. It backfired. It did. It backfired. Now they're out here doing stuff like, oh my God, I'm for the victims. And no. If you were truly for the victims, you would not have to lie. You would tell the truth. You would tell the truth. It gives me deja vu. It reminds me of the Tory Lane, Megan Thee Stallion case. Y'all remember that? Tory Lanez versus the state of California. Let's get into this alleged victim.
Cassandra Ventura, your idol, did this to herself. She exposed herself to liability when she got on the stand and decided to mention me as the male escort who was with her when she overdosed and Diddy made her have sex with him. That was a lie, people. Cassie had just woke up from sleeping 8 hours. Myself and Sean Combs were exhausted. We wanted to go home. Cassie's the one who forced that sexual encounter. People, she tells you that Sean Combs made her have sex on her menstrual cycle. I can't speak for anyone else but myself. But I know the one time that did happen, that Sean Combs was not responsible for that. That Cassie, in a drunken, intoxicated, hormonally imbalanced state due to her period, manipulated and forced herself on me during her menstrual cycle. And what I mean by that is I had no knowledge she was on her menstrual cycle because the room was completely dark. She manipulated the room. She manipulated the environment to get what she wanted, and then she totally got up like I was the one who should have been grateful. You're on your period. That's disgusting, and I deserved more respect than that. Cassandra Ventura, your idol, did. As a man, if I had laid down with a woman and forced myself on her and orgasmed in her and she got up and it was leaking out of her, guess what? I would have raped her. So by statute, by case law definition, Cassandra Ventura sexually assaulted me. I'm not looking to destroy Cassie. I've given Cassie more than a year to settle this before things got out of control. The problem is she's being supported by women like you who choose to attack male victims instead of accept the truth, which is that a woman could have lied to get revenge on the ex-boyfriend who broke her heart and hurt her. It happens, people. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and that's true. If you hurt some women, they will do everything in their power. If you hurt some men, they'll do everything in their power to hurt you. But I want to end this by saying this. Cassie did this to herself. They say he who sets out on a course of revenge should dig 2 graves. People, Cassie dug the grave that is Clayton Howard herself. Cassie got on the stand trying to destroy Diddy. She should have took her $20-30 million and walked into the sunset, people. As a man, if I had laid down with a woman and forced myself on her and
that is crazy. Do y'all believe him? I don't know. I thought he was reading that lawsuit. I didn't. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all believe him. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all don't. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all believe him. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all don't. What the hell? So the male escort is coming for Diddy and Cassie in a new lawsuit, according to TMZ. He is suing them for allegedly contracting an STD from Cassie. He's also alleging that Cassie aborted his unborn child. Why would you want a baby with this man? What? In the lawsuit, he claimed Cassie aborted his unborn child without his knowledge and says that after the chop, she continued to have unprotected sex with him. In his book, Cassie, Victim or Co-Conspirator, he detailed Cassie revealing she was pregnant while he'd been in prison for violating parole. See, I keep going back to desperate people, baby. I had a conversation about desperation with one of my people. She told him that she'd been pregnant and was sure it was my child. He claims she began to cry and said she didn't want to go through with it. After seeing her emotional, he claims that he had no choice but to forgive her. The amount he is suing for is unspecified. Child, that is crazy. I know you lying. Wait, and there's more. There's more because I could have sworn Tasha K. Didn't Tasha K. get some?
So good morning. I am Dave, the man who has just sued Cassandra Ventura for damages involved in the Sean Combs sex trafficking trial. And I'm looking through social media and I see a lot of the women out there, particularly black women like myself, who choose to victim shame me and try to do everything they can to discredit me, because the truth is that the loss of the Sean Combs trial was a loss to the Me Too movement and to hating women like the women who are trying to insult me. So let me tell you something, you women out there who would like to insult.
Where is CW? CW and I had a conversation that if Cassie did not bring down Diddy, they were going to make the changes they're going to do to Me Too, all put it at her feet, as she is part of the reason why. Oh my God. CW, remember that? I hope CW, girl, where are you at? Where are you at? She's probably enjoying the fireworks right now. She's probably enjoying the fireworks. We just had this conversation literally, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Oh my God. I told y'all I'm part of the Claire's. I'm part of the Claire's. She's Bay Squad. CW's Bay Squad. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying. I gotta figure out a way to do a members only, because baby, listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying. He said, cause she messed up the Me Too movement. And I had a question. I asked it. I said, are they going to keep her from being sued by the escorts? Because nobody had came out and wanted to sue or anything. Oh, tell your girlfriend I love her. I'm glad she loves the videos. Please get the likes up. Share, share, share. Let's get into what he said. He said a launch. Oh my God. Let me find out. I be on the money.
He's eating out her vagina.
Ooh, Tasha K. Thought you got another one.
He's eating out her vagina, shifting.
Ooh, Tasha. Let me play this again.
So good morning. I am Dave, the man who has just sued Cassandra Ventura for damages involved in the Sean Combs sex trafficking trial. And I'm looking through social media and I see a lot of the women out there, particularly black women like myself, who choose to victim shame me and try to do everything they can to discredit me, because the truth is that the loss of the Sean Combs trial was a loss to the Me Too movement and to hating women like the women who are trying to insult me. So let me tell you something, you women out there who would like to insult me. This is my story. I was paid by Cassie, Cassandra Ventura, for 8 years to be her male provider. I didn't have to be the best looking guy. I was the best in bed. And because I was the best in bed, guess what? I was given this arrangement. I was coerced. I was drugged. I was manipulated with promises of money and gifts for over a period of 8 years to continue to be this woman's provider at her expense and at the expense of Diddy. Now, at the time, legally, I didn't know my rights as well as I do now. I didn't create this conflict with Cassandra Ventura. She created it with me. She's the one who decided to bring up things that happened over 10 to 15 years ago to hold Sean Combs accountable for what was a partial truth. She's the person who introduced me to the U.S. Attorney's Office. She's the person who told the U.S. Attorney's Office about our relationship. So in essence, those out there who want to hate on me, who want to say that I'm attacking Cassie, you should realize the truth. That Cassandra Ventura, your idol, did this to herself. She exposed herself to liability when she got on the stand and decided to mention me as the male escort who was with her when she overdosed and Diddy made her have sex with him. That was a lie, people. Cassie had just woke up from sleeping 8 hours. Myself and Sean Combs were exhausted. We wanted to go home. Cassie's the one who forced that sexual encounter. People, she tells you that Sean Combs made her have sex on her menstrual cycle. I can't speak for anyone else but myself. But I know the one time that did happen, that Sean Combs was not responsible for that. That Cassie, in a drunken, intoxicated, hormonally imbalanced state due to her period, manipulated and forced herself on me during her menstrual cycle. And what I mean by that is I had no knowledge she was on her menstrual cycle because the room was completely dark. She manipulated the room. She manipulated the environment to get what she wanted, and then she totally got up like I was the one who should have been grateful. You're on your period. That's disgusting, and I deserved more respect than that. As a man, if I had laid down with a woman and forced myself on her and orgasmed in her and she got up and it was leaking out of her, guess what? I would have raped her. So by statute, by case law definition, Cassandra Ventura sexually assaulted me. I'm not looking to destroy Cassie. I've given Cassie more than a year to settle this before things got out of control. The problem is she's being supported by women like you who choose to attack male victims instead of accept the truth, which is that a woman could have lied to get revenge on the ex-boyfriend who broke her heart and hurt her. It happens, people. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and that's true. If you hurt some women, they will do everything in their power. If you hurt some men, they'll do everything in their power to hurt you. But I want to end this by saying this. Cassie did this to herself. They say he who sets out on a course of revenge should dig 2 graves. People, Cassie dug the grave that is Clayton Howard herself. Cassie got on the stand trying to destroy Diddy. She should have took her $20, $30 million and walked into the sunset, people. She should have never gotten on the stand and created further liability for herself by telling more of the lie that she created to get this man sent to prison for his life. She made a mistake when she got on the stand, people. She made a mistake when she got on the stand and lied about the events with Clayton Howard. Clayton Howard is a victim of Cassandra Ventura. Clayton Howard didn't ask to be in a relationship with Cassandra Ventura while she was sleeping with numerous men per week. I get it. You all think I was a nasty male prostitute sleeping with women, all different women all the time. It actually didn't work like that. To have certain types of people that can pay you that well, what you really have to do is you have to focus on people who are affluent. And affluent people don't engage in activities like that. So I might have had a client once a month. The truth is I was only a male escort for 2 years. I continued in the profession because Cassie and Diddy continued to pay me very well. And I was an ex-con. I needed money. I was trapped in the situation. I'll admit that. I didn't know what to do. But does that mean I should be victim shamed? Because the same thing that happened to women all the time happened to me as a man? No. And for those women out there, for you black women who choose to shame me as a black man for telling my truth, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's really pretty much all I have to say. You will not see me too much in the media. I don't need the public to believe me. I just need a jury of my peers and 12 people to believe me in a court. And thanks to the testimony of Cassie during the trial of Sean Combs, I have that. Thank you for watching. Stop victim shaming. Thank you. Thank you. So
Now he hit a lick. Oh my God. How do y'all think Morale, Nancy Grace, and Tisa Tells, how do y'all think they're going to spin this? He said he's going to, I told you, oh my God. Oh my God. Let me find out the prosecutors allowed this man because the case went under to sue Cassie. Y'all know the feds are nasty. Y'all know the feds are nasty. The feds lied to us. They lied to us about everything. They told us, they allowed for the mainstream media to spin that there were celebrities involved, there was children involved, weapons was involved, and they were all lying. We found that out. That's why I said go to Pacer. Go to Pacer. When the girls was out here lying, and that's why I have the biggest issue with Morale and Tisa Tells, because they were actively at the court spinning the narrative, lying, blatantly lying. And then you got the Tisa Tells supporters, I don't know what she calls you guys, talking about some, she just got the facts wrong. No, we're not playing prosecution games. There weren't no just inconsistencies. It was lies. It was lies. Blatant lies. They were there. He do got a case. He said he's using her testimony. You can't get mad at me. He said he's using Cassie's testimony, and you can. And that's why I said, some of you don't understand what's happening. Diddy can come back and hit them with a defamation and slander lawsuit. Everybody who was on the stand, because they sworn under oath. They shouldn't have did that. Especially we did. My thing is this, where are the receipts? The girls don't be having the receipts. He has the receipts. He said she brought me up to the prosecutors. She did. She mentioned me. I wouldn't have mentioned no names. I would have been like, I can't remember. It was drug induced or something. I knew it. I knew when Diddy's defense team let her off really, because they could have really grilled Cassie and they didn't. They didn't. They were just like, okay. And who? That's why I said you gotta repaste her. If y'all are out here just listening to the voices on YouTube, listening to your faves, that's not enough. And moving forward, this has taught me not to trust nobody's research but my own. Shout out to the Players Club. Shout out to Lisa Ray for that, because you did your big one with that, girl. Please get the likes up, baby. We are bringing y'all the facts.
I used to collect my semen in the cup. Probably for a year or so, I wanted to say it, so I actually started orgasm inside of her. Then they stopped asking me because she just started telling me, like, coming. I was stupid. I was young. I actually believed that because I beat Daniel Phillip, I was her only boy toy, so I thought the pussy was clean, and I'm just slaying it. Every time she's telling me, I'm straight making deposits.
Why would they collect your semen?
I didn't know. I thought it was weird. I complained for a few months until finally, I want to say it was maybe a year and a half in, they were doing it. I watch a lot of forensic TV, so I would get scared. I'm thinking he's using my DNA to try to set me up, some crazy shit. And I finally flicked out of him, like, yo, listen, I'm not giving y'all no more cum. Y'all taking my cum, y'all going to the next room, like, what the hell y'all doing with my cum? It's creeping me out. She told me that she used to drink it because he liked to see her play with semen. I said, you can do that right in front of him. Yeah. But she told me that encounter, she would never ask me again. I said, okay, and she never asked me again. Instead, she started asking me to come inside of her.
Oh my God, child, this is I knew if they didn't get the guilty on the RICO, this was going to happen. I had this conversation with CW because we actually talk about things that are going on outside of entertainment. We just talk about like timing, alignment, things of that. And I told y'all when I saw him down in Florida in the water during the hurricane, I said something ain't right. Like, I don't know if I believe him, because they saying Diddy was doing all this gay stuff, but they don't have gay stuff on record.
He's eating out her vagina, shifting his anus in my view. All of a sudden, he jumps up and he starts to act like he's, going to eat a vagina, which he never did. And he buries his face in her vagina. While he's doing it, he tells me to keep masturbating so she can watch. Okay, no problem. So now I'm watching her masturbating. But he's eating out her vagina, shifting his anus in my view. So it's distracting me because I can't see her vagina, I can see his anus. So I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm gonna let you finish your spin.
Okay, go ahead.
Ooh, Tasha, this is a lot. I'm gonna have to go watch that, child. I'm gonna have to watch that when I get my hair braided tomorrow. This is a lot. And you're right. Do y'all think Maureen, who's for the victims, Nancy Grace, and Tisa Tells, do y'all think they're going to stand up for these victims? And I want to be very clear when I say this, because I don't want to spend too much time speaking on content creators who blatantly lie on the internet for a click and a view. I don't care what you do and how you got to get it. You don't have to lie, because there's people like myself who's going to repace her. Shout out to all the domestic international base. I see y'all. I'm so sorry. My issue will continue to be with the sharecropper bloggers is that they lied. They were spinning narratives that didn't need to be spent, because there were people actively down in the courtroom covering it. And now I understand why mainstream media always laughs at new media, because y'all put yourselves in situations where y'all are out here pretending to cry because fake tears and doing whatever you gotta do to get the sympathy and empathy of others, but you're a liar. Maureen talked all that big boy-ish with his race baiting tail. Okay, he's an escort himself, just to go and say, oh my God, Janice Combs talked to me. She was so RICO. She was just, Then you have Nancy Grace, who's just like, well, he's never getting out of prison. And then they were spreading the misinformation of the of the hearing, the sentencing, not happening until October, that's a lie. It's happening on Tuesday. It's happening on Tuesday. Why would y'all, these big time creators, the Tisas, the Marats, the Nancy Grace, why would they lie like that? Did the prosecution tell y'all to lie? Do they want people to not be there? The sentencing is happening this Tuesday. Tuesday. That's coming up. Tuesday. Maureen Comey is only asking for 5 years. 5, not 20. 5. If y'all are so about victims, how come y'all are not about Cassie's victims? She hired them. She went and did whatever. Now, I agree with Dr. Umar. I feel like Diddy did play a pivotal role in doing some things to Cassie, but for her to just be this blatant victim who could not think for herself and all this other mess, that is why the laws of the land are changing. The laws of the land are turning into the Handmaid's Tale right before our eyes, and y'all are just out here blindly just saying, I just trust women. People don't trust women. No, we check but verify. We check but verify because a lot of y'all be lying. A lot of you. Y'all think Diddy is just some dumb New York ninja. He's not your uncle. He's not your brother. He's not your father. This is a man who's been making millions upon millions of dollars since the 80s. And y'all don't think he can tell when somebody's doing something? Cassie couldn't even bring to y'all, and I'm talking about the prosecution, any business dealings that were RICO type things. Neither could Jane Doe. You know why? And that's why I said they were so comfortable being labeled prostitutes, because they're airheads. No way in anything would I allow them to call me a prostitute, a lady of the night, because now you're getting sued. The only thing you would have been, I'm a victim. I'm a victim of something. She has a brand new baby, and now she has to fight in court against this man who knows all her deepest, darkest secrets. One of the escorts recorded her, and she threatened him. Again, go check Pacer. Y'all don't have to believe me. Go check Pacer. It's right there. As somebody who's an account, all these girlies who are lawyers and paralegals and dealt with the law, tell them to read it verbatim, word for word. We don't read it word for word. But I can tell you, Cassie lied. The former assistant lied. Kid Cudi lied. Miss I was hung over the balcony lied. They were all lying. That's why they got immunity for lying. Let me call it what it was called. Immunity for perjury. All of them. The jury called them prostitutes by finding him guilty of transportation for prostitution of Cassie and Jane. Yes, they did. Yes, they did, Elite Leo. Ain't no way. And then the prosecutor said, oh, we wanted to keep it simple so they could know the rules. 62 pages of rules? 62 pages? How do I know that? Pacer. Hello. Let me tell you something. Reading is fundamental. All right, and I'm going to keep saying it. George W. Bush Jr. should pay for his crimes on No Child Left Behind, because a lot of y'all have been left that has done a doozy, because a lot of y'all lack comprehension, you don't have critical thinking skills, and then you're just sitting out here looking the fool. And I'm like, where did y'all get that from? Oh, from the girls who are lying. Nancy Grace lied to y'all. How do y'all feel about y'all faves lying? Marat Morelli lied to y'all. Tisa Tells lied to you, blatantly lied. I don't care if she's revered amongst the people. That's wonderful. You know, mainstream media lies all the time. But let's be very for real. When the girls was out here calling her a liar, she wants to cry on the internet talking about she's crying for the victims. No. Marat Morelli was like, oh, well, he's getting out of prison. He's getting out of prison. And I feel really bad for that chef, because she might be the one true victim, because she did get knocked between the washer and dryer, and she really cares. She didn't get no money. He didn't pay her. I told y'all, before y'all start martyring some of these adults, you need to go check and see, are they good people? Do you think Cassie is going to give up some of her, well, they're going to get it back, give up some of her money to these people who were standing beside her in solidarity? No. No. Now she got to spend that $30 million she got to fight this man who wants a piece of her pie. And he's not going to be the only one. There's going to be more. There's going to be more. Ain't no way. I would have told the prosecutors no. I would have started crying and saying my brain doesn't work. But the problem was her ego. See, Queen Lovely, Leah, said pride and ego will take you down every time. Girl, I was watching you. That was a good one. I love it. Pride and ego. If you don't go get yourself in alignment, pride and ego. And if you read Pacer, you will see Cassie's pride and her ego. Right when she was winning, right when she had people eating out of the palm of her hand, what did she say? I still love Diddy. I want him to see me. He wouldn't see me. I said, girl, what? Catching the attitude. That was so long ago. I don't know. I said, oh, she don't even know she's being set up because she's dense. She's an airhead. All the defense attorney had to say was, you're very beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. And she shifted in her chair and said, thank you. Perked up. Diddy was smiling at her. She felt real good. It's in Pacer. It's in Pacer. Bree, how do you know that? I can read. I'm sorry your faves lied to you. They just was sensationalizing things so that they can get your money. And now you're out here writing think pieces on Beyonce's internet, because if you read Pacer, you would know Diddy was not going down for the RICO. It has nothing to do with me cheering, yes, Diddy, yes, yeah. Has nothing to do with that. I told you I don't care about Diddy or Cassie, but if we're going to do it, let's tell it right. Like, let's just keep it right. These are National Enquirer type people on YouTube. And y'all see the way these celebrities are suing, and y'all still want to lie? It's crazy. And you're so right. Pride comes before the fall. Pride comes before the fall. She got dressed up, put her freakum dress on, and went and ate with Diddy. That is in the paperwork. That is in the paperwork. It said, please give me some money. And he said no. Diddy didn't care what was being said. Y'all told us he was gay. We ain't seen none of the people say he was out here doing gay acts. Y'all said there was children. Don Richard, I'm not off your neck. I don't care if you are from the hometown. You are a liar. You got ate up on the stand. Lisa Bloom being your attorney speaks volumes. She don't win cases for nobody. There's a whole book written about her and her weak ass mama who destroys cases. We're not listening to them hoes. Let's on to the next. Y'all lied. Y'all got them fooled. Y'all don't have me fooled. And the sad thing about it is, y'all are going to make a victim out of Diddy because so many people ran to Beyonce's internet to lie on him. I said it last year and I'll say it again. Y'all helped Diddy's case. Y'all helped it. They're going to use all those things we know to be lies now. Freak offs at the all-white parties. Not true. He separated his business from his personal. They were doing freak offs in hotels. They never did it on his property, nowhere on his property, her property, the escort's property. It was always at somebody's hotel. The hotels would go get set up. They would pay the money. Just lying. Lying. Y'all are liars. 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 And Cassie, girl, you're on the record as a prostitute. You should be scared. You should be scared because I don't trust that man you having these babies with. I don't trust no white man who can't get a job in America. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. And I don't trust content creators. Like, unless I personally know you, I don't trust you. You will lie. You will lie for a click and a view. That's why I listen to who I listen to now. Because I was like, child, let me go see for myself. Because all they do is lie. That's why they saying all three of y'all was working for the prosecution. Because y'all was getting all this insider knowledge. Turns out it was lies. And we know the feds lie. So was Maureen Comey feeding you BS? So you can lie to your audience? Thank you guys for saying my hair is gorgeous. My mom would be so proud. Y'all remember when I had no hair? Now I have a lot of hair. And yes, it's mine. This is all mine. This is all mine. It does not... This is my hair. It grows out my scalp. But yes, thank you so much. I don't like the way Nancy Grace came for Armand speaking about black women when her platform is all about, oh, Tasha talks true. That was another thing. You got Nancy Grace out here coming for Armand. Like, listen, Armand and I have never been friends. Y'all know the history with us. But I didn't like that either. I didn't like that either. I was like, Nancy, girl, please. Please. Police. Be for real, okay? Ooh, although I can't stand him, did you see the video of Little Rock getting caught up in his lie about the minors? Yes, I did. And he was on academics, and they don't learn. They just keep talking, trying to sue, and I can't even get mad, you know. And I didn't like that the narrative was being pushed that Diddy does not attack men. Diddy has been beating up men way more than he's beat up women. Okay, he has broken some jaws. He has snatched some dudes up. He has literally had men crying in the fetal position. Hell, he even had grown men walking for cheesecake. Like, please stop acting like I don't know who Diddy is. Please stop acting. It's the acting for me. Talking about he would never do that to a man. What are y'all talking? That's how I know a lot of y'all don't know what you're talking about. Y'all just don't know. Diddy has snatched up producers, writers. He wasn't scared of anybody. That's some fake, false narrative. Diddy is exactly who he thinks he is. He's just calmed down because he's a little older in age. But when he was out there having them doing the ooh, yeah, and forever my lady and all that, he was snatching ninjas up. He was knocking them between the washer and dryer. Well, he was hanging out with some real gangsters. Y'all think because he don't have blood on his hands, He's not like that. He's like that. Do you see who his mama is? Do you see who his daddy is? Do you see who he grew up around? Like, it's in him. He said, you can put me in the jungle by myself with a blindfold. I'm coming out with minks and everything and I'm selling it. I knew then he was exactly who he said he was. Yeah. Yeah. There are dudes who refuse to speak on Diddy because he didn't smack them up. Stop saying y'all care about victims, because when the male victims actually tell y'all things, y'all don't want to listen. And then y'all are, in my opinion, y'all are putting other people's victims with Diddy when you need to put them with exactly who they should be with. Y'all are afraid to say that out loud. Oh, the victims, the victims, the victims. Y'all don't care about the victims. Y'all care about the conspiracy. And now you look stupid. Your credibility is shot. Who cares if people like you if they know your platform as a lie? And people forget that. That's what was the problem with Milagro. Everybody loved Milagro until the platform became a lie. Y'all have now lies attached to your platform. And you're trying to use sympathy and empathy and emotion and denied bail. Let's be very clear. If you read the law, the Mann Act, he was not coming home. If y'all saw, he wasn't getting bail. From the first time they said denied the bail, they said until the case proceedings were officially done. They're not officially done until Tuesday. The defense is expediting the sentencing. Do you think if the prosecution won or got a W, they would have had the sentencing happening Thursday? Prostitution. We gotta use these. We gotta use these. Something we gotta, calm down. Just hold on. Hold on. Help is on the way. Your brain. Your brain. And women, my word of advice to you is stop saying out loud and manifesting and curating these spells over men with your words, saying that we have no rights. Every time y'all say we have no rights, they take more of them away. Oh, she couldn't think for herself. They take more of our rights away. Stop saying that. If you're a woman, stop saying that. No, you do have power. Stop saying that. Because it's starting to look real Handmaid's Tale out here. And a lot of y'all are not in good situations to be having that happening. A lot of you don't have passports. You don't have money. You don't have the resources. Look at the climate right now. Talk less. Read more. I told y'all. Project 2025 was coming. You didn't want to listen. How, when Diddy hit with 2 counts out of the 5, they passed it. They passed the big, beautiful bill. Use your brain. Start working out your body. Start getting on your enough like J-Lo. It's about to be real raw out here. A lot of you can't afford to get sick. They're taking away Medicaid. I don't need Medicaid, but I didn't have a problem with my taxes going to help y'all. You see? Because I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. I'm not even a hater that the sharecropper bloggers was getting it wrong. Why are they out there inciting fights? Because that's what they said. A couple of y'all was out there inciting fights, picking. leaving your comfortability to come pick fights, instigating. You know, when y'all do stuff, remember people can see you. Even the people you think that can't. But y'all be safe. Enjoy your day off. It's getting real. Some of you gonna have to learn how to bob and weave because it's about to be real Hunger Games out this hole. And on that note, comment down below. I gotta go. Bye, hoes.